that's fine for taking photographs of your graduate as they walk across the stage and family pictures and so on. But if you could have them on silent, that would be very, very helpful to us. We do have at this stage quite a number of graduates who are missing, so I'd be pleased if you could bear with me. I need to call out these names because we need to make sure that people who are supposed to be here are actually here. So please bear with me for a moment or two as I go through the script. Carl John O'Connor, seat A0116. Carl O'Connor, you're here? Thank you. Sorry, I can't see from up here. Thank you. Fionnuala Donnelly. She's here, A1308. Fionnuala Donnelly. She's here. Thank you. James Kelly, seat A0132. Definitely not coming. Thank you. Connell Anthony McKeever, B0308, Block B at the back. Connell McKeever. Connell, you're here? Stand up. Thank you. Ryan McLaren, B0410. Ryan McLaren. No. Lino Lakuru, B0518. Lino? Here? Thank you. Thomas John Fiore. Matthew Menon, A0501. Matthew? Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for your patience. If any of those people that I've just called out happen to be in the seat beside you, please make sure that they speak to one of the checking staff, because in 5 minutes the names will be scored off and they'll not be able to be presented this morning. So finally, just to say, I hope you do all have an enjoyable morning with us, and I would like to, on your behalf, thank all the staff of Student Administration and of the Waterfront Hall for helping to make this event happen. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
I declare open this graduation ceremony. Please be seated. Friends, colleagues, and most importantly, graduating students, welcome to Ulster University's graduation ceremony. I'm going to start with a very simple and single word: congratulations. I'd really like to give you a round of applause before we start. And that was a very restrained round of applause, so as it goes on during the ceremony, I expect a few more whoops and cheers. And this truly is a wonderful occasion for each of you. As individuals, today marks a fantastic personal milestone, the culmination of years of hard work and determination. I'm sure at times it has been demanding and challenging, but you can take great pride in your efforts, in your commitment, and ultimately in your success in completing your course and being here today. You've not come on this academic journey alone. Just look around you. You're surrounded by all of those who've played an important part. Your classmates with whom you've learned, shared ideas, discussed, debated, perhaps enjoyed a few quiet moments, and with whom I'm sure you have forged some of the deepest and most enduring friendships. The university staff, the lecturers, technicians, professional services teams who are all represented today have also contributed to your experience at Ulster and are thrilled, genuinely thrilled with your success. For many of you, however, the most important people to have to come with you on your journey are your family and your friends. You graduate today as a daughter or a son, perhaps a sister or a brother, a husband or a wife, a grandchild, a childhood friend, a source of deep pride to those closest to you. And those will, I have no doubt, have been a source of great support to you in many ways over the course of your study. We are honoured to have so many of your family and friends with us today, and I know you will want to thank them. So what I'm going to do is ask all of the graduands to stand, to turn to your family and friends and give them a warm round of applause and thank them for their support during time. So if you please stand, turn around and face them and give them a... It's a genuine privilege to be here with you and to be taking part in this ceremony. As university educators, our very purpose is to ensure our students develop the knowledge and skills needed to take the next step in their life and in their careers. And one measure of success is certainly the qualification that you'll receive today. Harder to measure, though, but equally as important to us at Ulster University, is the ambition that we foster, the self-belief we develop, and the hope and the potential that is so evident in each and every one of you today. And whether you realise it or not, the hope and potential that you represent is particularly poignant in this year. Many of you graduating during these ceremonies were born in 1998, the year of the Good Friday or Belfast Agreement, the children of that agreement. You represent the first post-Troubles generation and encapsulate the new dawn of politics and society here. While we may not have seen the progress that we would need and like, your personal progress reminds us of that hope that was there 21 years ago and is a wonderful illustration of the potential being realised. And this is just a start. Over the past few years, you have read, researched, worked hard on assignments, revised for exams, and everything in between, and you've gained skills and knowledge, not only academic knowledge, but knowledge of yourself and of your ambitions and your dreams. And there's a well-known saying that knowledge is power, but actually, what you do with that knowledge can be equally, if not more powerful. And of course, that knowledge you have and those dreams you have developed will be varied and different and individual. So take optimism and confidence from today. Remember every effort that it took to get here and use all of those things after whatever it is to support whatever you do next. Walt Disney said, "All of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them." And we at Ulster University will be there to help you and support you. We will remain one of your biggest champions and proudest supporters. We will continue to provide you with the opportunities to stay involved with the university. And so, although many of you will be leaving Ulster University campuses, you will not be leaving Ulster University. You are now part of the Ulster University family. You are joining a welcoming, vibrant and active alumni community that represents over 200,000 people worldwide. So I'd encourage you to stay in contact. Remaining in contact, remaining connected to us is important for another reason, because seeing is believing. Each one of you are an inspiration to those who will come after you, and whether you realize it or not, you leave behind a legacy of success, accomplishment that will empower them and their ability to achieve. Ulster University takes great pride in being a civic university. This means we are unequivocal and unapologetic about our responsibility to raise ambitions, transform lives, both inside and outside of our campus boundaries. You are an essential part of that. You have the ability to have a real and positive impact, both in your own careers and, more importantly, in society as a whole. In the words of the renowned conservationist, Dr. Jane Goodall, you cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. I trust your time with Ulster has helped you to give you the knowledge, the skills and the confidence, the support networks and the belief to make a positive difference. 22 years ago, there was another seminal moment in history. The first Harry Potter book was published. I was hoping for a slightly more of a laugh. And I'm pretty confident each and every one of you has read them or watched the movies. And there's much to inspire us in J.K. Rowling, but I'd like to give her a particular quote from her just as a way of concluding this presentation. We do not need magic to transform our world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already. At Ulster University, we are very proud to have played our part in giving you that knowledge, that power. So on behalf of the whole university community, congratulations. Now go out and transform the world. In accordance with the wishes of the Senate and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I have conferred honorary degrees and other academic distinctions of the University of Ulster on those named in the conferment list approved by the Senate. I call upon Professor Moore to present George Joseph Rowe for the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters.
Vice-Chancellor, over the last 2 years, I have had the privilege of leading a major research funding bid to support the screen industries in Northern Ireland. As part of that process, the team often had to present to assessors, and we were continually wary of overplaying the biggest and most obvious screen asset this region has. Eventually, one of the senior assessors took me aside and told me, at every possible opportunity, make sure you tell us Game of Thrones, then tell us again, and then tell us again. It was good advice. As a result of Game of Thrones, Northern Ireland has received direct economic benefit of £200 million, not counting the indirect economic benefit from screen tourism, whether it be in the linen industry, creating replica costumes, or the virtual reality industry, creating immersive visitor experiences. Without the man we are honouring today, Mr. J. Rowe, none of this would have been possible. As Senior Vice President of West Coast Production at Home Box Office, HBO, to you and me, he was instrumental in ensuring that in 2009, having visited and researched Northern Ireland extensively during 2008, HBO would locate the production of Game of Thrones here. Production continued here until the last series aired this year, and the charred remnants of the final scenes can still be seen at the Titanic Quarter. Such is the HBO and J. Rowe's commitment to the region that they have announced they will be working with Tourism NI to develop legacy experiences of Game of Thrones, and the prequel has already started filming here in Belfast. And yes, we are on the prequel, and growing this beard has not yet gained me a part as an extra, Mr. Rowe. Just saying. Jay Rowe's advocacy for Northern Ireland goes beyond screen production, however, impressive though that is. He understands that political and social change can only be built on economic stability, and has worked tirelessly to support the business infrastructures in Northern Ireland, attending and speaking at key conferences both here and in the USA. Since 2016, Jay Rowe has been a member of the Northern Ireland West Coast Advisory Council, established by the Executive Office of the NI Assembly. He has been active in supporting the work of the Northern Ireland Bureau in Washington, D.C., advocating on behalf of the region to audiences across the USA. An excellent example of this awareness of shifting political thinking to promote economic growth was the influence he brought to bear on the discussion which led to the delivery of the 2013 UK tax credit for high-end television drama, without which it may have been impossible to sustain the growth our screen industries have enjoyed. That Jay Rowe has a deep and complex understanding of the global screen industries is evidenced by the number of interviews with him, visual and audio, available on the internet, where countless organisations seek to learn and prosper from the understanding he has developed of the interwoven set of management and leadership skills crucial to anyone hoping to advance in this employment sector. Jay Rowe has a profound conviction of the need to build sustainability into a region's creative economy. This is most forcibly illustrated in his unstinting support for Cinemagic, the award-winning Northern Ireland-based international film festival for young people. His personal intervention allows young people from around the globe to make short films dealing with issues such as racism, homophobia, teenage suicide, bullying and drug abuse. This work addresses many of the key cross-community and cross-cultural problems pressurising young people today, and lets them confront them on a collaborative and international scale. Jay Rowe epitomises the breadth of skill necessary to be highly successful in the contemporary screen industry. He has over 30 years' experience of film and television production, in productions ranging from news, corporate, music videos and commercials to long-form television, miniseries, theatrical features and television series production. He is a member of the Directors Guild of America, the Producers Guild of America, the Academy of Television Arts and Science, and the British Academy of Film and Television, LA chapter. Having graduated from Boston University with a degree in television, I am absolutely certain his alma mater is now more than delighted to have him sit on the Board of Overseers of the University of Boston. We should also perhaps mention that Jay worked with Madonna for a year. No doubt her most successful year. Northern Ireland is poised to become one of the most important creative industries hubs in the UK. Future Screens NI is tasked with developing the sector over the next 5 years, and a central aspect of the forthcoming City Deal agreement will be the building of a multi-million-pound screen innovation laboratory, while Ulster University has just launched its future-facing Screen Academy. It is no exaggeration to say none of this might have been possible had it not been for the ability of Jay Rowe to identify and partner with the most important bodies in the region, none more so than NI Screen, needed to embed the Game of Thrones brand in the public imagination. We owe him a great debt. To quote one of George R.R. Martin's most famous lines from Game of Thrones, which could have been written for Jay Rowe, "Never forget what you are, for surely the world will not. Make it your strength, then it can never be your weakness. Armour yourself in it, and it will never be used to hurt you." Vice-Chancellor, I present George J. Rowe for the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
George Joseph Rowe, in the name of the Senate, I present to you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. I now call upon Professor Murphy, Dean of the Doctoral College, to present candidates.
Vice-Chancellor, in the name of Senate, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, Alexander Chapman. Ciara Mary Fitzpatrick. Vanessa Jane Gestrine. Dickon Piers Hall. Adrian Thaddeus Kerrison. Danielle Mackle. Rory McAteer. Conor Murray. David Stanczak. From the Faculty of Computing, Engineering and the Built Environment, Pardis Biglarbegi. Peter John Hampton. Cormac McGarrigle. Laura Louise Rice. Christopher Charles Wilson. Edward Price. Campbell James Waddell. From the Faculty of Life and Health Sciences, Olufakeo Omoumi Bamidele. Elizabeth Sarah Carlin. Helen Louise Coulter. Adrian McCann. Ilona Irene McMullen. Peter Mulhall. And Aoife Stevenson. Vice-Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of candidates from the Doctoral College.
Thank you, Professor Murphy, for presenting candidates. I'd now like to call upon Professor Maguire, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Computing, Engineering and Built Environment, to present candidates.
Vice-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you candidates for the degree of Master of Architecture, Castesis Donocus. Claire Smith. Scott Graham. Laura McElrath. Kevin McPeak. Nicole Louise White. The degree of Master of Science in Community Planning and Governance, Danny Power. Terry Anthony Quinn. The degree of Master of Science in Fire Safety Engineering, Suzanne Nally. David Darling. The degree of Master of Science in Renewable Energy and Energy Management, Netza Jack. Alan James McKee. Carol John O'Connor. Expedito Resma. Chris Walker. The Postgraduate Diploma in Housing Studies, Evelyn Collins. Owen Conway. Caroline Rose McCann. Kelly Puyi McGrath. The degree of Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering and Diploma in Professional Practice, David James Calvert. Brendan Ferguson. Laura McCann. Julia Cora Joy Finlay. The degree of Master of Science in Planning, Regeneration and Development and Diploma in Professional Practice, Michael William Paul Mullen. Amy Arnold. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Architecture and Diploma in International Academic Studies, Ryan Charles Robert Brewster. Ma Kisilu Falconald. Jane Lavery. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Architecture, John Catterson. Amar Chekchek. Zoe Victoria Gibson. Niamh Hughes. Rory McGee. Courtney Jordan McElkenny. Joseph Francis Anthony Cunning. Ailish Fraser. Samantha Ann Gibson. Andrew John McCalmont. Keelan McCaughey. Peter Og MacDonald. Cathal McKenna. Clodagh Rafferty. Ernestus Ferenca. Caitlin White. Keelan Dominic George Brown. Paula Antonia Deji. Catherine Ann Francie. Dominica Kisalova. Nicole Jennifer Nesbitt. Roisin Shannon. The degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Architectural Engineering and Diploma in Professional Practice, Roma Chang. Jade McGee. Danielle Murphy. Conal Bateson. Claire Forsyth. Joshua Lothbridge. The degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Civil Engineering and Diploma in Professional Practice, Ross Fraser Curry. Andrew David Fleming. Stephen Sproul. Daniel Connolly. Owen Cullinan. Emma Donaghy. Alexander McCauley. Keelan Moon. Ryan Murray. Sean Tracy. Gavin William McConway. The degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Energy and Building Services Engineering and Diploma in Professional Practice, Ryan Alexander Hewitt Hamilton. The degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Software Engineering and Diploma in Professional Practice, Rory Casey. Curtis Cowan. Curtis Erwin Craig. Patrick Crossan. Fenton Donnelly. Adam Grimley. Kieran Jordan. Declan McConvey. Stuart Michael MacDonald. Niall McGovern. Nadia Jean Rogers. Ralph Rouston. Matthew Walker. Kevin Aldridge. Michael Gary Burns. Tiernan Byrne. Andrew Cameron. Rhys Keane. Donald McCabe. Dylan McGinley. Benjamin James Thompson. Samuel White. Matthew Wilson. Simon Gorka. James Paul Graham. Philip James Wesley Heron. Eamon McAteer. Daniel McCord. The degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Architectural Engineering, Dean Goodall. Powell Jasney. Gareth McKinless. Matthew Mearns. The degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Civil Engineering, Stephen Gibson. The degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Energy and Building Services Engineering, Jonathan Francis Despard. Colin Patrick Donaghy. Ruri Francis McGavin. Sean Anthony McSwiggan. Jonathan Reid. The degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Software Engineering, James Maguire. Ryan James McCorry. Aidan Robert Torbett. Cameron Paul Gordon. Christopher Hearn. John Maguire. James Mallon. Joel McMullen. Martin Murphy. Mark Sally. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Computing Science and Diploma in International Academic Studies, Anya Flynn. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Mathematics and Diploma in International Academic Studies, Richard Bullock. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Architectural Technology and Management and Diploma in Professional Practice, Michael Daly. Andrew James Downey. Aaron McIlernan. Mark McAteer. Katrona Slane. Matthew Finnegan. Lee William Mason. Rebecca Quinn. Shannon McAlliskey. Patrick O'Neill. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Building Surveying and Diploma in Professional Practice, Roland Graham. Adam Michael Hewitt. Stephen Martin. Conan McKee. Peter Mulligan. Sean O'Callaghan. Amy O'Kane. Dara Campbell. Corey Colgan. Owen Collins. Owen Doherty. Matthew Flood. Jonathan Thomas McAlonan. Michael O'Rourke. Joseph McBride. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Civil Engineering, Geoinformatics and Diploma in Professional Practice, Leah Maria Cosgrove. Sarah Jane Galt. Rebecca McCausland. Shane Paul McPartland. Kevin Riley. Ryan Christian Santos. William James Starrett. Mark Symington. Francis Burns. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Computing Science and Diploma in Professional Practice, Daniel Black. Tara Byrne. Andrew Coulter. Ryan David Crawford. Peter John Curry. Laura Doonan. Christopher Dunn. Peter Galt. Jonathan George Gillespie. Ryan Gerard Goodwin. Craig Charles Gordon. Samuel Joshua Gorley. Mark Higgins. Gillian Keenan. Courtney Lewis. A.V. McCartan. Timothy McClelland. Keelan McVeigh. Dylan James Monaghan. David John Poots. Stuart Lester Savage. Conor Scullion. Curtis Tarr. Mark William Templeton. Lewis Thompson. Andrew Brown. Patrick Burke. Ryan Mark Campbell. Lyndon Shivers. Mark Colgan. Conor Crockford. Simon David Crooks. Damien Fitzpatrick. Matthew Fox. Kerry Hamilton. Cynthia Kumachiva. Conor Lafferty. Sarah Jane Lawson. Martin Marley. Ryan Marshall. Andrew McLoone. David William McKee. Leanne McNichol. Joseph Morgan. Daniel O'Neill. Stuart William Thomas Osborne. Ross Steele. William John Hugh Torrance. Jack Whiteside. Paul McBride. Conor McCaffrey. Piers Francis Toner. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Computing Technologies and Diploma in Professional Practice. Pross John Tumulin Casemiro. Dean Crossett. Fanula Donnelly. Mark Dyer. Daniel Feenan. Megan Kerr. Daniel Lilburn. Stephen McConkey. Cathal McCullough. Chloe Owens. Aaron Rogers. John Paul Brady. Orla Breen. Joe Carton. Enan Convery. Liam Alexander Curtis. Emer Downey. Keith Duncan. Gabrielle Gedmanite. Michael McCaughey. Alicia O'Hagan. Dara Quinn. Owen Wilkinson. Sasha Doyle. Jonathan Gartland. Niamh Glass. Tara Grogan. Sheehan Irwin. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Construction Engineering and Management and Diploma in Professional Practice. Scott Glenn. Karen McCormick. Craig Scott. Christopher Rodney Sims. Owen Teague. Gavin Bradley. Alan Ryan Cobb. Philip Patrick Convery. Jamie Cunningham. Joyce McGurn. Kieran Woods. Jack Patrick Francis Deary. Liam McGuinness. Kieran Quinn. Conor Stevenson. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Energy and Diploma in Professional Practice. Pádraig Bell. Peter Dornan. Emma Louise McPullen. Colleen Mullen. Blina Bogle. Benjamin Brannigan. Jason Kerr. David Stevenson. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Environmental Health and Diploma in Professional Practice. Leanne Bothwell. Jonathan Douglas. Jamie Rees-Hamilton. Rachel Ann Hunter. Sarah Jane Hunter. Tracy Jackson. Shauna Livingstone. James Martin. Philip McAllister. Rosemary McCullough. Amy McShane. Shay Owen Armstrong. Gianpaolo Bonora. Louis Burrows. Celeste Flynn. Laura Gervin. Michael Connor Holgate. Dario Marzanati. Liam McAlevey. Conor McAleenan. Carla McClory. Katie McCourt. Emer McGarrigle. Natalie McKee. Aisling O'Neill. Caitlin Rooney. Hannah Ward. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Interactive Multimedia Design and Diploma in Professional Practice. Clea Louise Allen. Christopher Jack Deasley. Rhys McAleenan. Bethan McGurkin. Rachel Melissa Shearer. Connor Webb. Sean Davey. Ryan Hardy. Adam Harlow. Clark Johnson. Lauren Lewis. Jonathan Kutcher-Matchett. Ryan McKenna. Shane Malach. Shauna Wallace. Joshua Rullos. Emily Rooney. Andrew Francis Shaw. the degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Mathematics and Diploma in Professional Practice, Shannon Thraes Deasy. Fanula Hart. Lauren O'Hare. Gemma Russell. Rebecca Beattie. Megan McEwen. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Mathematics and Computing and Diploma in Professional Practice, Minyu Lee. Claire McEldowney. Mairead McKenna. Pierce McNichol. Patter Quinn. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Quantity Surveying and Commercial Management and Diploma in Professional Practice, Luke Adams. Nicholas Blair. Barry Doran. Ethan Green. Niamh Hanna. Megan Kate Hoey. Sarah Keane. Damien McClelland. Kieran Joseph Murphy. Thomas Murphy. Christian Murray. Patrick Bennett. Christopher Brogan. Luke Byrne. Sarah Carville. Padraig Seamus Devlin. Callum Doherty. Kieran Duffy. Robert Gassick. Piers Joseph Gerharty. Kieran Grogan. Edward Hill. Conor Joseph Harkin. Michael McCallion. Aileen McNally. Conor McNeil. Dara McVeigh. Michael McVeigh. Emmett McWilliams. Aidan Morgan. James O'Connell. Aaron Williams. Livy Ewens Cassidy. Conal Anthony McKeever. Ciarán McKinley. Conor Quinn. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Real Estate and Diploma in Professional Practice, Robert Aaron Croskery. Megan Houston. James Callahan. Abigail Holland. Mark McCarney. Ellen McGurty. Peter McKay. Fola Gallagher. Keelan McNeil. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Architectural Technology and Management, Chloe Hutchison. Jonathan McAteer. Glenn Mills. Dean Craig. Adam Thomas John Crawford. Luke Davison. Cian Hunt. Mariette Theresa Larkin. Rebecca Emily Lindsay. Rory O'Hare. Colm O'Neill. Philip Starrett. Porrick Brecknell. Caelan Gillespie. Christopher McRoberts. Ryan O'Hagan. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Building Surveying, Roy Hughes. Desi McLaughlin. Patrick Jonathan Miller. Gail Alice New Pritchard. Aaron McColgan. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Civil Engineering, Geoinformatics, Ludmila Gomez. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Computing Science, Alan Boyle. Ross Samuel Craig. Matthew Allen William Adair. Shane Farley. Gabriel Foster. Frankie Gibson. Conor Hoey. Shay Hughes. Oisin Kinsella. Barry McCrory. Brandon McDevitt. Conor Mullen. Colin Dennis Neal. Ross Derek Noonan. Aoife Teague. Lisa Toner. Joel van Gente. Desmond Ashley Waite. Roland Kyle Black. James Caniford. Clark Coates. Zachary Connor. Matthew Evans. Lino Licuru. Dean McCalliskey. Craig Allen McCluskey. Owen McGoldrick. Dylan McGonigal. Clodagh Monaghan. Ryan Phillips. Brian Thomas Walsh. Jack David Barr. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Computing Systems, Thomas William Broom. Brendan Carberry. Jamie Clark. Jason David Crozier. Josh William Galloway. Owen Ambrose Given. Andrew Kenneth Grant. Pader Kelly. Ashley McGill. Tanya Rebecca Matthews. Peter Macquarie. Cameron Wallace Hugh Macaulay. Gareth Macaulay. Christopher McCavanagh. Benjamin William Semple. Jordan Hoey. Matthew James McConnell. Martin Sloan. Mark Brendan Hughes. Aaron Perry. Michael Stranahan. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Computing Technologies, Kerry Shanks. Colin McHugh. Aaron James Wilkinson. Kerry Finnegan. Dara Furker, Patrick Lamp, Jennifer Martin, Sean Paul Rafferty, the degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Construction Engineering and Management, Pádraig McCafferty, Ryan Jonathan Shaw, Rory Allison, Jack Andrews, Damien Flanagan, Edwin Lewis, Kieran MacDonald, Conor McMenamin, Owen Mullen, Michelle Timoney, Conlon Bradley, Keelan McCooey, the degree of Bachelor of Science in Energy, Rory Caffrey, the degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Interactive Multimedia Design, Adam Forsyth, Chloe Victoria Harrison, Courtney Jones, Emma Loughran, Corey McGee, Stephen Mohan, Owen Donaghy, James Gilliland, Rebecca Ann Graham, Michelle Hamill, Marcus McShane, Ryan Traynor, Courtney Young, the degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Mathematics, George William Bingham, the degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Mathematics with Computing, Rebecca Jane Forsyth Curtis, the degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Quantity Surveying and Commercial Management, Brenda Marie McNaughton, Vice-Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of candidates from the Faculty of Computing Engineering in the Built Environment.
Thank you, Professor Maguire. As a computer scientist and a chartered engineer, I'd like to say thank you to all the engineers who were confidently, energetically, robustly and perhaps sturdily shaking my hand as they went across. I'll certainly remember each and every one of you for the next couple of weeks. There's a few I might remember for the next couple of months. And there is certainly one I'll remember for the rest of my life after surgery. I'd like to call upon our honorary graduate, Dr. Rowe, to address the congregation on behalf of those who've been presented.
First, I want to say thank you. Thank you to Professor Moore for that wonderful speech. I am deeply humbled to be here today. I want to say thank you to the Vice Chancellor, Ulster graduates, distinguished guests, and the University of Ulster for this tremendous honor. Your Irish warmth fills me today. When I received the letter from the university a few months ago, I was quite surprised. I'm a true behind-the-scenes executive, so the acknowledgement and recognition for the impact that people like me have on our industry doesn't happen very often. But then shows like Game of Thrones are a once-in-a-lifetime experience and a privilege to be a part of and contribute to. So I'm a very fortunate person as I sit here and stand in front of you today. I would briefly like to share my Game of Thrones journey with you and say thank you to the people who have made that possible. The most important thank you today is to all of you, the city of Belfast and the country of Northern Ireland. Without this tremendous country, which you all are a part of, I truly believe the Game of Thrones would not have become the most famous and successful television series of all time in the world. Over 10 years ago, a small group of us, consisting of writers David Benioff, Dan Weiss, executive producer Carolyn Strauss, creative executive Gina Balian, production executive Janet Graham-Borba, and myself landed at Belfast City Airport. We checked into the Merchant Hotel and began our journey of the discovery of Northern Ireland. Like so many others, we knew of the Titanic and the Northern Ireland troubles, but not much else. Was it safe? Were we going to be welcomed? Was this a culture of hard work and creativity? Was there a filmmaking community here? After our initial anxiety, we discovered the real Northern Ireland of the 21st century. We were welcomed by Invest Northern Ireland and Northern Ireland Screen with the help of Jeremy Fitch, Richard Williams, Andrew Weed, Peter Robinson, Martin McGuinness, and Arlene Foster. What we discovered, with the help of Northern Ireland's best producer, Mark Upham, was a sleeping giant of a country full of warmth, wit, ingenuity, passion, hard work, intelligence, kindness, only the Irish have, and creativity. Every project is a journey, and one hopes for the best. But Game of Thrones has exceeded far beyond any expectation any of us had and have ever been a part of. Seen in over 178 countries and territories around the world, not only has the show become the most widely seen TV series of all time, but Northern Ireland has been put on the map, and people now come from all over the world to visit as tourists and to do business here because of the show. I've been fortunate and privileged to be part of this historic production, but the greatest personal joy and satisfaction has been to see the Game of Thrones impact and it's had on your country. I have Irish roots, as many Americans do, dating from the mid-19th century. So to be able to give back to my heritage by helping to create jobs and infrastructure around a world-class film and TV environment, and to further bring attention to the world about Northern Ireland today has been an incredible experience. Articles have appeared around the world, from the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, the LA Times, to the China Daily News and the BBC. And they've all written about this impact Game of Thrones has had on Northern Ireland and the business and tourism environment here. Because of Game of Thrones, the following are facts. The production employed over 1,000 local people each of the 8 seasons in some capacity. The size and scope of the production was such that it could be afforded to take on many apprentices and trainees. Game of Thrones remains unsurpassed on its impact and skills development in Northern Ireland. Hundreds of businesses were impacted for the needs of the production, from local hotels and restaurants to lumber yards and clothing manufacturers. The economic impact has been vast. Game of Thrones has propelled Belfast and Northern Ireland to a level of confidence in the worldwide television industry to create and compete with any region in the world. It is that confidence that has brought HBO back to Belfast with the Game of Thrones prequel, which we began filming here 2 weeks ago. Over 100 businesses have relocated or set up offices here in Belfast over the past 10 years while we have been filming. In fact, there was I have a very strong memory of the G8 conference. I was invited to come back when you all had the G8 summit here. There was an economic conference the following weeks. And I was invited to sit in a small room with Prime Minister Cameron with 10 businesses from around the world. And I'll never forget sitting there, and they were all chatting about why they were thinking of coming to Northern Ireland. And there was a question posed to me, did you feel safe? Why did HBO come here? I said, we felt completely safe. We've been embraced, and we feel a warmth and a passion unlike very few we've ever had around the world. My understanding is 3 of those businesses in that room the following week decided to move their businesses and relocate here to Northern Ireland. And those experiences and those stories I've heard time and time and time again. The impact Game of Thrones has had on tourism has also been substantial. In 2018, 1 in 6 out of the country's tourists were influenced to visit Northern Ireland because of Game of Thrones. In the Causeway and up north, it's 1 in 3 tourists who are impacted. Before Game of Thrones came to Northern Ireland, cruise ships rarely came to the docks of the Belfast Harbour. Yet in 2018, it has become a major cruising port of destination. An estimated 350,000 out of the state visitors in 2000 alone made the decision to visit Northern Ireland because of Game of Thrones, spending over £50 million. Over 25 Game of Thrones visitor experiences have been developed since 2013, including guided coach tours, immersive experiences, food experiences, and self-guided tours. There are 26 publicly accessible filming locations to explore, many of which can be accessed by the Game of Thrones app worldwide. And I hope all of you have a chance to visit the Game of Thrones experience on its first stop around the world that is currently over next to the Paint Hall. As I reflect on the past 10 years, the word that comes to mind that I hope you take away from today is collaboration. Game of Thrones is successful because of the collaboration of hundreds of people on the crew, led by our fearless leader, EP Bernie Caulfield, and the incredibly talented writers David Benioff and Dan Weiss. Game of Thrones is successful because of the collaboration across HBO and the hundreds of executives in creative, production, post-production, business affairs, legal, media relations, finance, marketing, and distribution around the world. Game of Thrones is successful because of the collaboration with Northern Ireland and the thousands of people in your country who have contributed and been touched by our production. If these people didn't collaborate and work together, there would be no Game of Thrones. I'm here today because I've been a collaborator my entire career. And I encourage each and every one of you in your careers to collaborate. My personal journey on Game of Thrones has taken me from my first days at the Merchant Hotel and the Stormont Castle here in Belfast to the White House in Washington, D.C., to 10 Downing Street in London. And with many stops along the way, I've finally come back to Belfast to be with you here today at this wonderful ceremony. Congratulations on all of your degrees. I know what they mean, I know the work that went behind it, and it's a great moment to celebrate. Please go out into the world with the success of Game of Thrones as inspiration behind you, and please collaborate and find the journey that is waiting for you. From the bottom of my heart, to all of you here today, congratulations, thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Rowie. Thank you for taking our honour, and we're very delighted to have you as one of our Ulster University family. I'd now like to call upon Curtis Tarr, a new graduate in the Faculty of Computing Engineering and Built Environment, to propose a vote of thanks.
Vice-Chancellor, academic staff, fellow graduates, family and friends, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very privileged today to speak to you on behalf of everyone graduating. So I'm a computer scientist, and as the saying goes, we're not the most sociable lot, and I'm no exception. And I think I'm much better at writing software than I am at speeches. Well, I hope I am, or else I'm going to be out of the job. So I'll try to keep this brief. I want to start with a scene from one of my favourite movies, Interstellar. For those of you who haven't seen it, there's probably going to be some spoilers here, and if you haven't, please give it a watch, it's very good. So the premise is Earth is becoming uninhabitable, there's blights, massive dust storms, and our main character, Cooper, is given the opportunity to go beyond our solar system to scout for new planets that humanity could call home. Now, he openly takes this opportunity, but at the cost of leaving his family behind on Earth for he doesn't know how long. When him and his team arrive at this new solar system, they have to choose what planets to visit in what order, just because of how much fuel they've got. And they decide to first stop at a planet that's covered in water, that's orbiting closely to a giant black hole called Gargantua. Now, because it's so close to this black hole, time travels differently. Every 1 hour on this planet is around 7 years back on Earth. Now, Cooper's pretty upset about this. He doesn't want to go down. He doesn't want to miss time with his family. But it seems to be one of the best chances they have at a new world. So Cooper goes down, and there ends up being some engine troubles. Now, they're not down there long, but by the time they get off the planet and end up back at their space station, they realize 21 years have passed. And this is where we get the scene I want to talk about. Cooper ends up sitting down at this chair in front of this terminal, and it starts playing back all these messages that he had been receiving from back on Earth. And it's 21 years worth of messages of his kids and family growing up without him and moving on. And he's heartbroken. He's sitting there sobbing. Normally I'm sobbing at the same time. And when I was coming into final year of university, I had to decide on what my final project was going to be. I'm not very creative, so I was struggling. Couldn't think of anything. I was jotting down every other idea that came in my head, but most of them were terrible. Eventually I came upon these 2 ideas that I thought were pretty decent. They weren't anything spectacular, but they would get me through the year, no problem. So Friday before week 1 rolls around, and I come up to my mentor to present them to him, and there's a couple of other people there, and I pitch them these 2 ideas, and he just replies with, do you have anything else? So at that point I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do here? So I get out my wee notebook and I start flipping through it, and I find this one line, this one idea, and I have something I'd come up with when I was at work in my placement, and it wasn't something I thought I was going to do. I didn't have any idea how to do it. I didn't know if it was possible. And I pitched it. And my mentor, Dr. Mark Donnelly, who I can't thank enough for the year, he's been more than helpful in everything. He's taught me so much. But he jumped on it. He was like, that sounds really good. Do that. And I was like, oh no, what am I going to do here? Like, I was sitting panicking, didn't know what to do. So that weekend, I ended up rewatching Interstellar, and I seen that scene with Cooper sobbing, full of regret that he missed out spending his time with his kids. And I kind of thought to myself, obviously uni's nowhere near as terrifying as losing time with your family like that, but I thought to myself, I don't want to waste this time. I don't want to finish university with regrets that I just didn't try. So I decided to take Mark up on his offer and do that project and really push myself forward. And I feel like that's one of the best parts of university. You get these opportunities presented to you, and you have all the support behind you from all the staff and the faculty to really push you forward and grow as a person. And I honestly can't thank the deans, the lecturers, the academic staff, all the support staff at the university enough for all of their support and guidance throughout the years. Honestly, I don't think any of us would be sitting here today without them. And it's been completely invaluable. Thank you very much. I'd also honestly want to thank everyone else sitting here, all the family and friends sitting up above us. I mean, what would we do without you guys? All those times we got those assignments we thought were just impossible, or we're sitting grumbling, oh, this is stupid, why are we doing this? All those late nights cramming for exams just before, worrying if we were going to pass or not. You guys were there every step of the way to support us and help us in whatever way you could. And honestly, again, it would have been an extremely tough road without you, and thank you very much. And I did say this would be brief, so I'm going to finish up here. I just want to finish up by congratulating all of you in front of me today graduating. I know it's been an extremely tough road, but you've obviously very well deserved. I know all the work that's went into it. So well done to everyone here today. And whatever the future holds for you, I hope you all give it your best and go forward and try to live your life without any regrets. Thank you very much.
As a computer scientist, Curtis, I was a little worried at the start of that. But you did brilliantly. Thank you very much. Now, as a university, we're moving into the 21st century, just about. So if you'd all remain seated, the platform group are going to turn around and stand up, and we're going to try and get a large-scale selfie of everybody in the room. And then we will close our congregation today. Okay, that's us in the 21st century. We're just at the very last opportunity for you all to take that celebratory last clap, that last cheer. I'd like you all to give yourselves a round of applause, an amazing achievement. I declare this graduation ceremony closed and invite the new graduates to join the academic procession.